Hello, my friends.
Oh, sure, I'm here. Okay.
Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. How is everybody? Good to see you. Welcome. Give everybody a minute to log in here. All right. How is everyone tonight? Hope good. I am delaying here, I can tell, and don't know why. So I apologize. I don't know if all of you can see that, but we'll see if it settles down. It's Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is rearing its ugly horns, which I absolutely love. But you know what? I'm not going to roll with that. We're just going to roll with this. It'll reset as we move on. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to get started on time tonight. I know people start like cruising in. I usually give you a couple minutes. But tonight, this is a topic that gets pretty heady, and so sometimes I digress a little bit, so I'm just going to make sure that I am getting this all in. And I don't like to go over because I respect your time. So we're going to get started right away, and everybody who slides in, they slide in as they. All right, everybody, welcome to the Truth Tribe. I am Daune Thompson. Thank you for being here. You're all perfect, exactly where you are right now. There is nothing wrong with you. Stop worrying. I know it's hard to do. I have a hard time with it as well, but just know that I love you and that everything is intentionally showing up for our highest good. Remember that Truth Tribe is to illuminate self-awareness of your health, of your wealth, and of your love. And tonight we're going to touch on love a little bit more. I don't believe that you need 20 years of therapy, but you need clarity now on how to do easy things in your life that will make catapulting changes. You don't need an astrology chart for Truth Tribe, but it sure helps for self-awareness when I talk about the planetary updates because I will bring up how they affect your chart with that sign. So to learn the basics on how to read your chart, you can go get Self-Awareness Astrology 101 at ideserveitnow.com on my website, and you'll have a little bit deeper dive of discussions when we have them on the planets. So let's dive in tonight. All right. Crashing or courage in your relationships. Guys, I'm going to talk about the planets in a little bit, but it's Mercury retrograde, it's Venus retrograde. We've got a huge party happening in the sky, and I'm going to talk about the end, but I'm going to tell you what it's doing. Okay. And what I'm noticing is if you're like asking yourself, are relationships making you crazy or are they cracking you open with new light? That's where we're at right now. The truth relationships hold for me is I wish I knew back then to do what I'm giving you all now. And what do you wish you would have known before you got married, Dawn? That's what people ask me a lot in a lot of my relationship coaching, right? And I tell people owning the life I deserved over the one I don't. That's what I wish I knew, right? But that requires knowledge of what I unconsciously accepted as unhealthy love instead of what I deserve and holding ground like unmovable lighthouses. That's the difference, right? But we are in a full evaluation of unwanted relationship realities in every category of your life. Remember, you're a lighthouse, and there are 12 categories, 12 rooms in your lighthouse, and each one of those represent part of you that you're in a relationship with. But today we're going to talk mostly about love, people, intimate relationships, because all the juicy tidbits people are delivering to us right now are to see ourselves. And their addiction, think of it from that level. Their addiction is your self-abandonment, right? Their criticism of you is your self-hatred. Their abandonment of you is your self-isolation. Their anger reflects your inner hurting. If it's not active energy inside of you, it wouldn't affect you, right? And you would just see their love is your love. It's the same thing. The pain they give you is the same as the love they give you. Their love spoiling you and giving you attention is your ability to receive attention. It's give and take, wanted and unwanted. But we're so focused on the unwanted, we're getting ourselves tripped up. We focus on other people's challenges to avoid our own. And their cutting words reveal your nervous system. You're anticipating it, you're expecting it for soothing what we also radiate inside because you learned it from your so many versions of ancestors and family members. Right? Could you guys even think about it this way? We're so used to getting triggered and criticized. That's the big word, triggered, right? Could you even recognize unconditional happy love? Have you ever thought of that? Like, do you know what happy love even looks like? And then you get it and you're like, is this real? Right? So why do you feel like you're going crazy repeating old patterns right now? Ooh, it's happening. Okay? Because you cannot walk into the new energy of courage if you're unwilling to see what you're ready to leave. If you're not willing to see it, it'll hang on to you. Poor relationship habits are burning away, my friends. And I get asked this so often. How do I have a healthy relationship, Dawn? Have hard conversations before, during, and after. That's it. There's my answer. There's my solution. We can be done with class. But I will tell you, after thousands of clients, it's a resistance that most cling to. Not to have those conversations out of ego, instead out of their vision of healthy love. And it fascinates me. What do I wish I would have known about having these conversations, right? Prior to getting married, prior to the relationships I was in, it was to make my marriage mission, my relationship mission first. What kind of relationships do I deserve and do I want? Not is it like acceptable? Is this relationship acceptable in society? Is it normal to travel so much and have a lot of time apart? It's not okay with my family? With the love that I dream of that is living in another country, or what makes you happy? But it's such a big deal because we're so worried if someone's going to accept the love that actually makes your heart happy. Who gives a shit what society or family or anyone else thinks? You're here on this planet to be loved, my friends. You got to learn. And this requires you to ask hard questions before you get into, well, we're not getting where we want to go. I know you got to ask the questions before so the mission is easier to achieve during. And the change, you have to understand, you change, your partners change, we all change. We're like, well, I already had it, I don't need to have it again. You have to keep having it. I wish everyone knew this, because when I did, I realized I could have wasted so much less time just telling my husband all my dreams day one. But we wasted a lot of time going back and forth. Right? Before him, I was trying to fix, well, him too sometimes, he'll probably tell you, right? Trying to fix my partners to feel better, help them, heal them. Instead of helping them, I needed to start helping myself. And this is often why couples therapy doesn't work, because it's an excuse to blame your partner for your own choices of unacceptable behavior and not see your insecurities reflecting at you from them. It's crazy. And again, the relationship that you have with yourself is the relationship that you will have with others. I don't care if it's with others' health, with others' wealth, with others in your love life, right? We are all here to be loved, period. That's why you came to Earth. You have to learn how to love you. It's how I teach self-awareness, love yourself astrology, see your personality. We're all here to be loved. And as we discussed in last week's Truth Tribe, if y'all remember, we love from the life we don't deserve, not the one we do. And that's the awakening, my friends. Ta-da! You're all awake. What do you deserve? I cannot say this any more clearly. There is a specific reason why I do self-awareness astrology, because it is you. I really don't care what the future holds because it won't matter if you don't see you. You'll keep playing the old. It is a blueprint, your user's manual of you, how you function, how you see you. And we're so freaking afraid to look at ourselves and self-critique. So if you are resistant to see yourself, and minimally, the hotspot class that I taught, look at your moon sign, which rules our emotions, our high, low emotions, right? A key role, I think, in relationships, and say, do I repeat this emotional topic wherever the moon sits, that category, this category in my life with low vibe? Well, with shitty behaviors, with bad habits, right? Low energy experiences in people. Or do I live in this category where my moon sits at the highest frequency of this category of my life? Big question. So the last couple of weeks in Truth Tribe, I mentioned Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. And yes, it's bringing up relationships, probably triggers, maybe conflicts, arguments, heated discussions, actual endings of relationships, as well as old loves reappearing, old money reappearing, old money solutions coming up, communication topics coming up. Okay, so when I bring these topics up, I want to be clear. I'm not just trying to tell you the future. Get ready. This is the future, my friends. I'm not bringing it up, to say, be careful, right? Right? The scary monster is coming and it's gonna hurt you, right? Those people from the past, all your mistakes. The reason I share these with you, so you know what's possible in your relationships and you're prepared, ready, to step up, to own it. Truth Tribe is about truth, which is ownership of your bullshit. That's why we're here. Why do you even care? You're the one with the bullshit, not them. They're the ones giving you the bullshit. You're like, thank you. I'll eat that and I'll take that and I'll take that. I'm like, just stop eating their bullshit. Can you tell I'm fired up? Because this topic gets me fired up because it's you. You got this. You're amazing human beings. I don't share, Truth Tribe so I can skip around the truth about the future. Oh, the future is happening, my friends. It's going to be so sparkly and unicorns. And isn't it going to be a wonderful utopia? You know this about me. I share this stuff so you are prepared to own your own life when pressure arrives. And it's going to arrive, and you're not going to get out of it. You're just going to get better at it. You're going to get better at mitigating when it shows up, the outcome. And the problems that are showing up are how many. When I say own your life, my friends, I've shared with you hundreds of times in hundreds of Truth Tribes. Okay, your life will look like how you feel about yourself on the inside, especially your relationships, especially the ones closest to you that live with you or sleep with you in the same bed, or that maybe you're dating. So how you feel in here is going to affect who shows up. Why? Because as hard as this is for a lot of people to understand, it's that you are seeing you in everyone. And they are a reflection of you, of mom. Your mom's a reflection of you. Your dad's a reflection of you. Your spouse, your friends, your kids, your peers, whomever. And so when they trigger you, it's to see you. And a lot of people want to go, well, this person's an asshole. That person's a narcissist. That person's I'll use addict. That's been coming up a lot. Okay, what are you addicted to? Are you addicted to fixing people? Are you addicted to being an empath and being passive so they can be narcissistic aggressive? The same thing. What are you addicted to? Think of it from that. If they're triggering you, it's in you on the opposite side of the pendulum. It seems like a safe start, right? To step up instead and ask yourself, if that's what I look like, or I don't look like that, but I would love to look like that in a partner. That person looks amazing. I would like to be with someone like that. I should probably up my game. I don't want to come across like that. We'll call asshole, since I got a motto, asshole or awesome, pick one, right? I want to come across like that asshole. Do I or not? Or I I deserve to be just like that awesome person. Do I or not? We're not self-evaluating. We're going after them and then we're playing victim. Yet over and over again, I watch people accuse others of what they're not doing, i.e., couples therapy, which is what I call just what I think is a lot of bullshit. Do I think it's smart that you're finally going, we need help? Yes. But if you're going there to accuse your person of not doing stuff for you, that's on you. Own your life, my friends. No one's going to save you. And in the last 2 weeks, I have had so many clients discussing ending relationships, reevaluating relationships, rewriting their relationships to a higher level. I just sent out a marriage mission from my relationship toolbox to 3 different clients this week. Do you even know where you're going? When you're on the same path and you know the destination, of course you're each going to come off the path a little bit and then this one might veer off, but you all know the direction. But you don't if you don't have that marriage mission. You don't have a vision of where you're going. It's just like, well, we did better here today. Okay, but are you working towards that? Poor me, I was a victim. I did a bad job. I'm not good today. But does it accomplish you to get that? Did it help? You're not focused on the end goal. If you don't want the kind of marriage that you want, my friends, you have to understand, if you don't want an unkind marriage, right? If you don't know what kind of marriage you want, you will marry your parents, hands down, unfinished business over and over and over again. I've seen someone now on their 4th marriage. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Unfinished problems, their unfinished business, their unfinished nervous system, and it all sits in your birth chart right there as clear as day. You just have avoided looking. In everyone and everything you do until you decide to rewrite your healthy love mission and make it non-negotiable. So instead of making make a declaration on paper of this is what I want instead of saying this is what I don't want. And oh my gosh, I'm so bad and I'm a terrible person. And you know, I can't believe this is happening to me. You aren't committed to what you want. You just aren't. And I'm sharing all this and you can tell I'm flared up because I listen to this all day long. And my answer is, then just be an asshole and go hang out with assholes and make peace with it. Because you're not changing. You have to do it. No one's going to help you. So when you get married, before you get married, before you date someone, before you get in all the muck, let's talk about the beginning, have difficult discussions. If you're married, have difficult discussions. Say it. Own it. And if you can't do that, what kind of marriage do you want? Right? By the way, do you want my parents' marriage? Husband, spouse to be, whoever? No, I've seen your messed up, argumentative sickness in your parents' marriage. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want a marriage like that. I don't want to be in. Do you want my marriage, husband or wife, whoever it is? Okay, we'll say spouse. I don't want to be a nurse. I don't want to be a caregiver. I don't want to be a fixer. I don't want to be an enabler. I don't want to be an abused or abuser. I don't want to be critical. I don't want to be criticized in a criticized marriage or an argumentative marriage. Are you saying these words of, see my parents? I don't want that. These good parts, love that. Can bring that with me. See that shitty part of my parents, asshole parts? No thanks. Don't want to be married to that. You're not having these conversations. Really. You attract me. You have to say your spouse, but you attracted me knowing this type of wounds my family had in order to give it to you. That's what you're doing when you don't have that conversation with them. You're like, but they're so wonderful. But you can see the parents and this person starts exhibiting it. I'm telling you, I attracted you to trigger my wounds so I could heal it. That would be an honest discussion. That would be a hard discussion to go, that shitty stuff right there, I attracted you so I could heal the crippling, painful insecurities inside of me. I'm using an asshole as the X, okay? Saying that to them, going, thank you. I attracted it so I could make myself badass. That's honest. So my question to all of you is when you are going you got to ask yourself, when are you going to step up and say, no, I don't want that unfinished, uncomfortable relationship blueprint that I was given. I'm going to rewrite my love blueprint, make a mission statement right now. I will show up for my family, for my kids, in every life, every aspect of my life to see what relationship reality I'm capable of. They're going to see who I want to be, not what my spouse is going to do to be a better person for me. You don't give a shit what your spouse does. If they aren't in it with you on the same mission, they don't want the same mission with you, my friends, and you're probably married to the wrong person. It's that basic. And we're making so much hubbub out of everything that's not going to heal your soul. If your spouse does not want the same kind of healthy love that you want, and they want to live in their victimhood misery, then it's probably not going to work out. If your spouse can't sit down for 1 hour and create a relationship of their dreams and then write out this mission that surrounds with you saying, this is our mission, what we will always navigate towards to create our healthiest, most loving, abundant, badass relationship ever, and focus on that. If they can't do that with you, they don't want it. They just want you to do what they want you to do for them. So this is why I don't support or encourage or do myself marriage counseling in my private sessions. Do I do individual couples therapy separately? Never. This is why. Absolutely, because I give more respect. Do I have couples who are doing it right now, separately, working with me privately in 2 separate sessions? Why? Do they have to be with me? No, but I say 2 people need to be doing their work. Absolutely, because I give so much more respect to those who are stepping up and saying, I want to own my life and I want my spouse to know I want the same vision. I just suck at it sometimes. I want my spouse to own their life. I want a badass power couple mission statement and mission in my life and a partnership. But if you don't know your own bullshit, you're going to ask this counselor to hear you and see what your spouse did to you. See how they said this to me. Can you believe it? I mean, it's cockamamie, you guys. Why are you accepting it in the first place? And why do you need a counselor to tell you there's an asshole? You are all going through a worthiness evaluation, my friends. I know it's the easiest to use your spouse or dating or relationships as your excuse for the life that you're attracting, but it's all you. Stop blaming them and start creating the relationship and the mission of your dreams. You would never do this in a business, yet you do it all day long and blame your spouse and blame your date and blame your friends, whoever's closest to you. It's like you find them so you can torture them for your own pain. You blame them for your pain. No more. It's time. I'm cutting anybody off who's listening to this call. It's time to step in to see your bullshit and say, oh, I don't want to blame you for the fact that I can own my insecurities. When I do, I see them. I feel I don't deserve it, and it scares me. That's honest truth. It's either something I didn't deserve in my childhood, but I am so wired into that pain. Pretty basic. And it's all I know or all I see that is something I expect to happen because I am completely oblivious to even acknowledging that it's part of me. And I'm sorry. That's ownership. But I am absolutely done accepting anything less than more than I deserve, 10 times more than I deserve, through communication, through my expression, through my ownership, through my words, through my actions, through receiving every category of my life in all 12. I deserve to receive healthy experiences in my relationships, to be filled up. And this is what I want. This is the marriage mission, a marriage vision This is my relationship mission to elevate into a higher plane of existence of healthy love than my parents' nervous systems held. Remember, you're all playing out your parents' nervous systems. So if you don't acknowledge this, you're going to keep playing the same thing they did. Was mom or dad abused? You are going to accept abuse in some version. You're like, it's not the same. It's totally the same. Do you want it also? Yes or no, partner? That was my choice. Hey, partner. Hey, husband. Hey, spouse. Hey, date. Whoever. Do you want this? Yes or no? They say no. Time to freaking go. Quit asking them, but someday you'll love me. No. They say yes, then work your shit out. Like everybody is making all this. I've watched, there's so many relationship people out there. Like, do this, have this discussion. It's overwhelming, right? And they're wonderful, all these relationship topics, but they're making everything very complicated. Therapy, and there's this different types of therapy, and there's now all those narcissists are coming out, and then all these people who have attachment issues, and then love languages, and then psychology and therapy and psychological mindset and trauma. No one's debating trauma. People have had trauma. All of you have had it. Everyone on the planet's had it. I agree. I get it. I've read all the books, my friends. And again, whether you've been to therapy or read all the books, have you noticed this? A lot of you still haven't made the changes to the love you actually deserve. Your nervous system is so afraid to receive gushy, beautiful, abundant, I mean, shitloads of love in everything. You're afraid to just say, I fucking deserve it. I want it all. That's so sad to me. And it should be sad to all of you. It doesn't mean you're mad at your spouse. It doesn't mean your spouse isn't coming with you. It doesn't mean they can't do it. You just won't start and actually own all of it. So when you start to recognize your changes only happen when you finally actually see it on paper, you see your own BS, your own hot spots, where you run away from the flames when all you got to do is run through them, your own weak categories of your life. My husband and I were literally just discussing this last night. We were on talking about one of my weak categories, and it's my fifth house, my moon in my fun house. Okay. Meaning I can create the best fun, organized planning, parties, events for everybody else, but I get pretty damn weak when it comes to creating and fulfilling fun for myself, or fulfillment of just peace and joy and laughter and lightness. And then I get frustrated with everyone else when it doesn't happen. My fault, my job, my responsibility to ask for help and or command what I want to do and ask for help from others to make shit happen. Not his fault. He's a professional fun haver. I don't need to ask him to have fun. He's like, okay, let's go. He's in. He, on the other hand, has a hot spot in the eighth house of change, intimacy, emotions, death, rebirth, of letting shit go, letting rules go, letting structure go, working with other people's money, finance, properties, estates, taxes, things he does with land and dirt, right? Past life, it's the karma, family bullshit for him. Is that my job to keep showing it to him and tell him he can let go, he can change? How he lets go and gets rid of all his rules. He doesn't have to follow those rules, right? Shocker that he married a rule breaker to trigger him. So do you think I trigger his insecurities? Oh yeah. And guess what? I could give a shit less about the rules as long as we're being morally respectful, correct, right? They're morally right. I will do whatever we need, whatever I need to do to break the rules to live my best life, right? And he struggles with breaking rules emotionally, and he can get too rigid. And sometimes, even though they're his own self-imprisonment rules, he has to want to get out. He has to want to make the difference between unsupporting rules and laws and orders he's created for himself. Not me. I don't care. I have to make the changes in my fun house and get the rules off of my fun house, right? That's where I have to go. Oh, and that I deserve to live and have fun and be romanced and have a good time. All you got to do, my friends, is just go look for one of the 4 hotspots. Your moon sign, start there, is what I'm discussing right now. Because typically, it's the biggest hotspot that is showing in your relationships when it comes to relationship reality. So go look for your moon sign and see if you're in need of owning your bullshit in that department. Okay. Then create your relationship reality of the things that you need to have in your emotional relationships around that category of your life, suggesting how you can do better at this, right? I want a relationship that is in it for me, that supports me, that encourages me to grow in this department, whatever it is, because I don't know where your moon sits. So I will begin filling my pot first of emotional support and joy. I deserve it. I will command it from now on. I gave you all a command. I gave you a command to command your angels. Remind me to fill my 5th house. Remind my husband to fill his 8th house. Remind you to fill your 10th house, your 1st house, whatever. Okay, so they are triggering you to see if you are going to remind yourself to pick you. They're not there to hurt you. Now, clearly, you know I draw the line on abuse and disrespect and manipulation in any way. Those are things I just say they're not your person. But they're showing up to trigger you to see, are you going to grow? If they don't want to grow with you and get on the same mission, they're not the person. The bright person gets on and goes, okay, I'm sorry, you're right, I'm coming with you, hold on. And they may take a while. But it isn't going to happen until you start seeing you. So I bring all this up. Why? Because the planetary update is insane. Okay. And I'm not going to deep dive into it. I'm going to give you the overview because it's going to be a lot easier for you to understand what's happening. So let me start with, if you have your birth chart with you, okay, go look for Pisces and Aries on your chart. What houses are being ruled by Pisces and Aries on your chart? You'll look on the outer wheel, you look for the little ram horn and the little Pisces fish sign, okay? Or red and blue. Some of them might be in black and white, so you might not see the colors, okay? Again, if you need the mini tutorial on how to read your birth chart, there's a mini chart description of Self-Awareness Astrology 101 on my website, ideserveitnow.com, or you can get the I Deserve It membership and you can have all access pass to everything I have. And you can fill in all of these blanks that I talk about, okay? Now, let's talk about what's in the sky right now, friends. I just want you to understand Pisces and Aries. So we go Aries, you have 12 months of the zodiac, 12 constellations, right? And we have just about everything jammed into Pisces and Aries right now, into these 2 constellations. So there's a major stellium, it's called. It's a pile up in the sky in Pisces and Aries. We'll call it a huge rave party is taking place in these 2 constellations right now. Okay. So many planets, they're all jammed in, they're all there, and you're all feeling it to push your buttons. And they're all about dreams and courage. Wishy-washy dreams or very clear dreams. Courage or victim. I'm not enough. Unworthy. It's really pushing all of us. So where do we go? First, to relationships, right? So last Friday was a full moon and it's still shaking you all up. Why? Because it was asking for clarity on what you want to end, including, right, choosing what you want to rebirth first, right? So there's the marriage mission, okay? That full moon was all about endings for all of you, and its opposite sign was activated in Pisces about releasing whatever is no longer relevant for you, whatever is no longer wanted. A yearning for a new you was coming out of that full moon. Okay. I was talking about earlier, your own moon. I'm talking about now, where is Pisces and Aries? Don't worry about what I was talking about earlier. Right now, we're just talking about the transits, what's happening in the sky. Okay. Pisces and Aries are going to look at those 2 houses. Okay. Your Virgo full moon last week was a wake-up call. It was begging you to let go of the old, my friends, and pick a new you. Okay. Now, fast forward through last week into this week, and we're going to hit March 29th, Saturday. Okay. It's a solar eclipse, new moon in the sign of Aries. And Aries is the sign of the ram, right? It's the path starter. They're a fire sign. They burn new paths, new beginnings, self-worth, self-image. So this new moon is going to join the sun in Aries. It's a little bit out right now, okay? By the end of the week, it's going to hit. Now this moon is going to sit on top of Aries, of the sun, as well as Venus retrograde, as well as Mercury retrograde in Aries. And new moons begin are new beginnings. Okay. Your souls can feel the pull. You're being pulled, right? They feel this pull in from the past, and you're like, literally, your soul's dragging you. And some of you, it's probably dragging you down the street, scraping you up for a new life. My friends, your souls are dragging you to the new beginning. Aries is pulling us from Pisces of dreaming and delusion and pull us into action and assertion. That's why you're feeling this craziness. Okay. Oh, it gets better. Okay. So the realization of love, money, value, and worth, they're all the same thing. It's what is your relationship with them? And if that moon wasn't enough to force you to move to a life you deserve, okay, then we got Mercury and Venus are in Aries assisting you as well. And they're looking back, going, hello, get ready, because as soon as this snaps, we're going. They're sitting next to Neptune, which is the ruling planet. Neptune is in Pisces, which rules mind, triggering a lot of rethinking. What are you ready to release yourself from? The self-sacrificing Pisces, the imaginary jail you have yourself in. Walk out. It's not real, which Pisces does well. Pisces is very good at causing us, wherever Pisces sits in our chart, to self-sacrifice ourselves. So in essence, you are in a new phase with reality. Your reality, not their reality, not the asshole's reality, your reality. You're walking into a new phase, right? And so if you are not done with your own bullshit, and Venus is going to call you out and go, let's bring a lover, let's bring a friend, let's bring a date, right? Because it's going to leave Aries for one last trip, okay? And it's going to back up, it's retrograding, so it's going to leave one last visit into self-sacrificing Pisces. And it said, so you going to keep doing that in your love life? Or are you going to accept beauty and clarity and mission of love you want? Okay. That's Venus. So it's backtracking. It's retrograding right now. And it's in Aries also for this party. And then on the 26th, Mercury is crossing also back into Pisces from courageous Aries. And it's pulling you into asking your soul hard questions around Pisces topics, ruling your mind, your sense of insecurities, holding of self-imprisoned rules, right? Do you want to stay or do you want to go? Wishy-washy, flip-flop, is this good or this bad? You know in your soul if it's good for you, okay? Because after one last review, when they visit Pisces for a little bit again, they're all in Aries, right? They're going to jump into Pisces and they're going to go, oh, we're done that. We're not doing that. We're crystal clear. We made our mission. We made our partnership mission, and they're going to move forward again. Okay. And they're going to move into Aries. And Aries is the sign of courage, assertion, new, independent fire starters focusing on the clarity that you just made. So you're being pulled to review, get clarity, because Aries going, come on, get some action, because we're going to go back there and review and get ready. And then you're going to move forward. So you're foggy heads right now. And these feelings that are coming up are to become more clarity in the coming weeks. You're going to feel more clarity. I promise, in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then when you've cleaned up your upgraded choices, right? Mercury and Venus are going to go back into Aries again and remind you to have courage to take action. You got this. You deserve healthy love. You deserve to feel happy and joyful and fun and lighthearted and full of healthy love. So if that wasn't enough at this rave party, then we've got Neptune. okay? And Neptune is in the last degree, 29 degrees of Pisces. There are 30 degrees in the zodiac sign, 30 degrees in a month. That's why you have 30 degrees of each sign, 30, 30 days. And so Pisces, Neptune has been taking its merry old time getting through its own sign of Pisces. And when a planet gets to the end of a sign, end of a zodiac, 29 degrees, it's going to finish off until March 30th. And then on March 30th, so day after the full moon or the new moon, it goes also into Aries, right? And it's going to go into Aries until about October. And then it's going to backtrack a little bit into Pisces for a little bit. And then in January, it's going to stay in Aries, I think, until like 2028 or something, right? For a while. So what I'm trying to share with you is because Pisces is sitting at the last degree of 29 degrees of Pisces. What's going to happen is you're all feeling Neptune's, when we hit it's called an aneretic degree. It's the last degree. The planet says, I want to make sure you've learned your lesson in this department. So you're going to feel like a frenzied anxiety that you have to do this. I have to do this. This, something's not right. And so Neptune and Pisces are wishy-washy, correct? And the high end of Neptune and Pisces is clarity and creativity and flowing around obstacles and just finding the highest way to get past it with divine consciousness. So you have two options. But once it moves into Aries, it's going to say, okay, did you figure it out? Can we go now? Let's pick that. So look for 29 degrees of Pisces in your chart. So wherever Pisces is, it's going to be the last degree. You'll see a little Neptune, or you won't see it in your charts, but that's where Pisces at 29 degrees is giving you a vision of where you are going. So wherever Aries is in your chart, it's saying, who do you want to become? What are you letting go of back there? All the delusion, the messiness, the emotions, the confusion, the chaos, right? Let's let go of being the victim. Pisces can play that victim. Virgo, Pisces axis, they are both signs that can fall into victim mode because they can get so critical. Letting go of the delusion. It's saying the addiction, the self-sacrifice, the imprisonment, the lack of self. So this is pushing you all to finish the Pisces lesson at the last aneretic final degree is like a frenzied feeding of needing you to finish your victim stories. Pisces rules emotions and it steps into April with courage. It's like, okay, let's go. So April is going to be a big month because we're going to start understanding why all of this backward review. There could be people from your past coming in that you're like, oh my God, I don't know why I left you. And you're rekindling. I don't know why we did this so much. And you rekindle. I'm not saying everything's breaking apart. I'm saying you're either breaking open to the light or you're breaking apart or you're crashing. You're cracking open the light or you're crashing. One or the other. But it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you picking you. Everybody right here, tap it in. This is why I'm bringing this into you guys. Tap into your thymus. This is your nervous system, your healing center, your immunity. Tap it in and repeat after me. I am courage. I am love. I know truth. Tap here. I am truth. Again, I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I know love. I know courage. I know truth. So I know I was kind of going a little cray-cray on you guys tonight, but I want you to understand, I don't care who it is, that we all deserve love, my friends. But the love you're not getting is only because you're allowing it from the life you didn't deserve, and that's changing. So anyone on the call, if you want to comment if you've been experiencing any of the relationship triggers that you are using as an excuse to avoid your own growth. Or you see, no, I am growing, but I could see that one's still there, or that one's still getting at me, or that one's still showing up, right? Where is Aries and Pisces in your chart? And you're going, I can tell you for sure, I literally knew this was all coming. So in my chart, it's this, it's career, and public. And so I've been cleaning everything up so it's so crystal clear. So that once I let I let go of the reins, it's literally like a catapult into the future of what we're bringing in, new stuff and new things. I've got I've opened up a better portal. Like I told you, I'm having 2 portals open for a while. The new portal. So all the Truth Tribe stuff, you can log in easier. You can see the calls. You can get the Zoom call either link easier. All the stuff I post, it'll be a lot easier. So I've been cleaning up my act as well, but mine's up in career and public and leading the masses. Okay. Let's see. Someone says, how about getting what you want and not always clear about how to handle? I've had to shift and see the fun and joy and deservingness of it. I don't totally understand what you're asking. How about getting what you want and then not always clear about how to handle getting what you want? Again, that is the wishy-washy Pisces of you going, why do you think you don't deserve it? Right? We have to start learning how to receive a lot of love, my friends. We have to start, that's what I was trying to explain to you guys. What would you do if you just had complete, unconditional, healthy love? You wouldn't know what to do with it, a lot of you. This is her person saying that. Divorce is happening, moving back to AZ, and Aries and Pisces are the 9th and 10th house. So your 9th house is all about beliefs. And again, that's Pisces. And so you've been for several years, probably very deluded and delusional and frustrated and not crystal clear about what you believe about yourself. Instead of saying, I'm freaking gorgeous and smart and driven and I deserve love and I'm not going to settle for anything less. So your 9th house is resetting your belief systems about partnership, about who you are, if you're smart enough, if you're knowledgeable enough, what you need to do. And the 10th house is your career, saying, we move into Aries, let's go, girl, let's do it ourselves. Someone says, accepting less in relationships with men, it's not at all what I want. So, but you're noticing it. Am I right? I realize I've been afraid to ask for what I want. I love this. So this is what I'm so glad I brought this out tonight. Is because if you notice that you're doing it, you can go, okay, I got to tell you, friend, boyfriend, date, person, whoever, this is what I want. And if you're not writing it down and being crystal clear and go, I got to say this. I know what I want. Just noticing that it comes up and going, wow, why am I having such a hard time receiving? Why am I having such a hard time asking for what I want? All they can say is no. I mean, and then what do? You don't want to know? You go get it yourself. It's that simple. If it's something that they can't give you, you go get it yourself or you find someone else that can. Which is very, crazy, but it's just like, oh, I could just go do it myself if they say no. Yes. I could change my beliefs myself and not agree with you. And I'm okay. I'll do it for me. Fill your tank. So someone says, yes, I'm irritated with others treating me with disrespect. When I see, I do the same to myself. Yeah, I totally get that. That's a very good statement. Guys, I did this for a long time. And you don't need to judge or criticize someone back that's doing this. It's you choosing to respect your own needs first. So stay filled up. Stay filling your tank, right? That's what I'm trying to say is learn to ask others if you can come back another time to assist them if someone's criticizing you. Or ask them, hey, when they're criticizing you, how did that make you feel? It's not being mean, it's not being disrespectful. How does that make you feel to criticize me? It hands it back to them and you're not falling into their disrespect. It's the easiest way to respect your boundaries, but saying, yeah, no, thank you. Right? And criticism is hard because it's like we want them to do what we want and we realize it's us. Someone says, this one says, how to change without, it's hard to change without upsetting others. All right, if they stay upset, right? If they keep being upset with you, it's your validation that you are being held back from the life that your mission, your dream, your healthy love life, the healthy love you deserve. Others who want to stay or respect you will back off and watch where you're going, not reject you. Right? It's getting validation when they get upset with you, you'll get validation that you needed to upgrade your life and you were holding back. That's what's happening. Okay, so how do you change without people getting upset with you? You don't. They're gonna get upset, my friends, and they're not gonna like that you're changing and you're forcing the change within them. Because if you change, they have to change too. The ones that want to change with you are the healthy, badass power couples that have a mission and they each kind of have this option and but they're getting there. They're getting there further. And people keep asking me, is healthy love real? Yes, absolutely. I have it with my husband. Do we fight? No, but we do struggle sometimes to be honest with each other and truly pull out the boulders and own each side. Because we're both caregivers. We both want to protect the other and we're not doing ourselves. So we get lost in it. But can I tell you all? Yes, I know it's a factual thing because I have it. I have clients who have it. But they did the work. And they owned their own life and they called out their own bullshit. And they're badasses if I were to ever say, ugh, those are my poster, couples. And it's hard. It's not easy. But they do it. Does that make sense, my friends? Does it help you understand the universe has this rave party literally like dancing on top of you saying, pay attention. Don't get wishy-washy. You're not taking care of yourself. You're self-sacrificing. Quit blaming other people and change your beliefs about yourself and move on. Because Aries is going to take you there anyway. Cool? Cool. Okay. All right. So you guys had some really great questions, and a lot of this is all, again, all of you changing your ways and moving forward is a good thing. That's where the universe is. That's where we're going. We're moving to a higher, healthier, more loving, but it feels uncomfortable because when it's close to us, it's hard to wrap your brain around how you're not lovable. My answer is, oh, you're so fucking lovable. You are so beautiful. You are so amazing. You're the one not telling people that. Now it's time. So everybody tell everybody you meet, you know what? Dawn told me I deserve it all and I'm going to go for it. Blame me. That's okay. I don't care. I have a bad enough rap anyways. I don't care. I break the rules. Okay. All right, my friends, remember to like and share the Truth Tribe after it's posted on the replays, to invite a friend to the next Truth Tribe. There is a new entry. It is going to allow you to see different ways, open the links, watch the replays easier. They're all in one place. So if you haven't registered, you have an old registration, just re-register on my website. It's free, so it's not hard to get in. It'll put you in there. It'll open you up to the portal. You'll be in the group, all of it. If you haven't, I'm sending out emails. I promise I've been so busy. But they're all going to be in an easier place. We're all going to have these discussions easier. Also, friends, if you're feeling like it's time, right? And you're like, you're right, Dawn, I get what you're saying. A lot of you have already been with me in the DMT and all the advanced stuff. Get ready. You're all getting an email this week, how to get into your portal with a private code, okay? But if you're ready to expand and be inspired and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to shift to the higher version of me. I don't want to do this anymore, but I got to see me basic, right? And if you're thinking, I need more of this, Dawn, what can I do? If you missed the DMT method, if you missed self-awareness astrology, if you missed Elevate, no worries. You can grab the course and go at your own pace, right? They're all designed to help you upgrade all the life categories, every category of your life, and break through your old patterns. Now, if you're ready to go into raising your self-awareness, that's it. Now, if you want to do it all and you're like, I don't want to do one at a time, that's the I Deserve It membership that is now available. And instead of purchasing a course one by one, you go into the I Deserve It membership and you get access to everything I've ever made. All my work, all my tools, the freedom to grow at your own pace. So you have two options: single courses, start where you need, or go to the VIP full I Deserve It membership and you can lock it all. They're all either way at ideserveitnow.com on my website. And you have to start making a commitment some way. Sit down, just like that marriage mission. Make a plan. What do I want? Sit down, listen to the basic astrology 101 and go, oh, That is how I show up at work or with my beliefs. Or I do have shitty money thoughts. Or, whoa, that is how I show up. You don't know how you show up. And that's when you start mastering yourself and you become Christ consciousness. That is my goal. That is why we're here, to master self-mastery. Okay. Again, reminder, all of my VIPs, if you've worked with me privately, you've been to the DMT method, you've done all my work, you're going to get a VIP email with a private entrance this week. I know a lot of you are on here in and out and I can see you. And so just know, I know some people are asking me, I'm doing the best I can. And I promise it's coming. So I'll send it over. If not, if you're in a hurry to get in, text me and I can send it to you faster. Okay. If you're listening to this after the live session in YouTube or Spotify, the links are in the notes below. As always, find me with questions. I will see you next week. Thank you all for joining me tonight, my friends. I love you. Brightest blessings. You guys have an amazing night. Take care.